Welcome back to a Monday's Ocala Talks. I am your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio, just located off the runway at the Ocala International Airport. And we're going to talk about something now that is very volatile. It's very polarizing. And it's something I don't like to talk about a whole lot, but with the new Supreme Court session going end to end, I think it's something we need to talk about. And there was a rally or a demonstration here in Ocala over the weekend concerning this exact topic. And the topic is one of the things the Supreme Court will take up as it symbols for a new term. The term, however, has more drama and tension. Democrats call for packing the court with an instant liberal majority. Others attack its members in anticipation of opinions that have yet to be written. The reality of what's going on with the Supreme Court, according to an article I read, and it's one of my favorite stories about the Supreme Court, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes. He was on a trip to Washington. He forgot his ticket, but the train conductor reassured him, "Don't worry about your ticket. We all know who you are. When you get to your destination, you can find it and just mail it to us," Holmes responded. "My dear man, the problem is not my ticket. The problem is where am I going?" The same question is being posed about the court on the whole. Last term was marked by more unanimous decisions than sharply divided justice breaking along ideological lines. However, this term, there's some matinee cases that could deliver rulings that really could turn things on their head. Perhaps the most discussed case of the term is that of Dobbs versus Jackson's Women's Health Organization. This is one of the people are saying it's a real threat, immediate threat to Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Dobbs involves a challenge of the 2018 Mississippi law that banned most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. You know, in Texas, they just did 6 weeks of pregnancy. It notably has only one question presented: whether all pre-viability prohibitions on elective abortions are unconstitutional. It is a question that should be chilling for pro-choice advocates. No exit ramps, no ambiguity. It's going to be black or white according to the way this is done. Is it unconstitutional to have pre-viability prohibitions on elective abortions? If it is unconstitutional if it is presented as unconstitutional, that's tough for pro-choice advocates. And here's my thing. Here in Ocala over the weekend, there were supporters and opponents of abortion's rights. They gathered on Saturday morning. They voiced their feelings about the hot button and controversial topic. They were shouting at each other. They took over the corners of South Pine and State Road 40 and South Pine and Southwest 10th Street 200. Some instances they crossed over and were talking with each other in each other's face. City police were called to one of the locations to quell disagreements. Francine Julius Edwards, she was one of the organizers for the pro-choice movement, said it was one of roughly 600 events planned nationwide, in part for Women's March for Justice. She says, "We believe in pro-choice, my body, my choice." Although the same people that are saying my body, my choice, pro-choice for abortions, are saying you need to get a vaccination. It should be mandatory. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there. It's their body, their choice. As long as it's not vaccination, then there's vaccination. You don't get a choice. It's your body, but you don't get a choice. Take the vaccination. Where do I come down on abortion? I'm Catholic. I think abortion is abhorrently wrong. I also am practical. And this is going to aggravate some of my Republican friends that tell me that I don't go far enough to the right for them, and I don't care. That's their problem, not my problem. But I'm going to tell you that I don't have to go through the 9 months of gestation. I don't have to go through what a woman goes through with changes in her body and everything. So I have no basis except to say that, when I believe life begins. But it's something I'm never going to have to endure. So even though my belief is that abortion's wrong, I stay out of the conversation most of the time because I just don't think it's my conversation. Now, I know that'll offend some people, but that's a you problem, not a me problem. If it was, the question was, would I have an abortion? No, I would not. If I was a woman, I wouldn't do it because of my beliefs. But I'm not a woman, I'm a man. Somebody goes, yeah, Tom, but what about that woman that wants to abort the fetus and it's your child? Never been given that situation. I don't know what I would do in that situation because it would be just pure speculation for me to say. I know what I would do right now. I know that I as personally am against abortion, but from a practical matter, I don't want to go back from back rooms with coat hangers either. And that's where we were before Roe v. Wade. It was, you know, like you hear about some of these clinics in Miami where people are getting Botox and stuff in their rear ends and their lips and all, but it's really concrete and stuff like that. That's where we were with abortion 50 years ago. I know a guy who knows somebody that can do it for you. We didn't know if they were licensed doctors, not licensed doctors, whether the woman was going to make it or not, we didn't know any of this. Whether you like the process of abortion or not, the alternative is back rooms. Pandora's out of the box. You're not going to put it back in the box. You're just going to put it behind closed doors where maybe the best health care and maybe the best surgical situations aren't there. Well, Tom, they get what they get. No, no. Until you have to walk a mile in the shoes of a woman who's going through the process, I don't think you can, and I see all these, I always see the seniors that come out. Matter of fact, we'll go to break and then I'll come back because I do something sometimes that aggravates people. But if you're going to protest, if you're going to be against something, have a solution. I'll talk about what I mean by that next. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The effects of a major oil spill off the coast of California were already evident. Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley says, "We've started to find dead birds and fish washing up on the shore." End quote. 126,000 gallons or 3,000 barrels were dumped by a pipeline from the LE platform about 5 miles off the Huntington Beach shoreline. Divers continue to make repairs to the pipeline as of Sunday night. A data scientist named Frances Haugen has revealed herself to be the whistleblower behind a massive exposure of the inner workings at Facebook. Prior to appearing on 60 Minutes Sunday, Haugen, a former employee at the social media giant, kept her identity a secret after sharing thousands of pages of internal Facebook documents to the media and federal enforcement. She is scheduled to talk with lawmakers in Washington on Tuesday. Thanks for listening. It's well appreciated. We are USA Radio News.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people will remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/find. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82